Welcome to Reshair Radio. I'm your show host, Chris Reshatar, Senior Loan Officer with NFM Lending. As always, at the top of the show, I got to make sure you know that NFM Lending is an equal housing lender and NMLS license number 117266. So if you have not listened to the show in the past, our show is all about exciting, educating, and empowering Charlotte teens to make sound financial decisions. Well, hopefully all of our listeners are already doing that. We're just going to help you continue to make good ones. But if you haven't listened before, the goal really is, I'm a loan officer. I do loans for people. If people call in from the show and call me after the show and occasionally help them with a purchase or a refinance. But really, the show, you don't want to hear me talking about mortgage all day long. We want to be talking about all kinds of things that are associated with what you do in your financial life. So, anywho, we'll kind of go into our lineup for the day as we bring in area expert contributors and special guests on Reshair Radio each and every week. That's one thing that makes us unique is every week we've got a different round of people in terms of special guests. And then we do have about 4 to 5 expert contributors that sponsor Reshair Radio, and we appreciate their generosity and support. So without further ado, our first expert contributor that we're going to have on the show, who actually will be coming during the 4th segment, is Adam Kunda with National Credit Care. And he's been on the show for a couple of years now. As you heard from him in the past, he's going to make sure that we are all credit repaired. He's going to teach you things about how to clean up your credit, what to do with your debt, etc. We'll hear from him on the 4th segment. That's Adam Kunda with National Credit Care. But our special guests in the studio today are Joel Pimentel from NFM Lending. Joel, welcome to the studio.
Hey, good morning, Chris. How are you doing?
And we got Patricia Botero. And tell me the name of the company that you represent.
Premium Homes for Sale.
That's right, because I've learned from the past as I prepared for the show that I cannot say it. I always want to say premier, but it's premium.
Yes, Premium Home for Sale.
Home for Sale, right. So, which is, I think you're a division of Keller Williams, but you really have your own brand, which is super cool. So welcome both of you to the show. First
Thank
time
you.
on the show, right?
Thanks,
you guys
Chris.
excited?
Yes, of course.
Super excited, man.
All right. So what I'd like to do is make sure that our guests, our listeners this morning, have an opportunity to hear a little bit about you and what you do and so forth and your expertise. So, Patricia, you have several years experience in the real estate business. And prior to that, you also are the CEO of your own company. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I am the CEO of Premium Cleaning Service. It's a residential company, cleaning houses. And working in that also, I was working several years, maybe more than 10 years with realtors. And during the recession time with my husband, we saw the potential in real estate and we started to invest in properties, rental properties that we have right now. So that means for us was the right and the next step being a realtor. Right now
right.
I am...
So let me make sure I understand. So you have your premium cleaning service, which is the company you've owned for 10 years.
More than that.
More than 10 years. But you found that you were just doing so much business with realtors that you thought, you know what? Maybe I should get my license. And then you and your husband also invest in properties. So
Yes.
it just kind of made sense. You were seeing what realtors do. You were helping them. And then you were investing yourself. So you got your license.
Yeah, it was like close the circle for us.
Right. Okay. Makes perfect sense.
And to be honest, I really love this career. I know what I'm doing is helping people. So that's the key for me.
Right. Exactly. So, Joel, tell us a little bit about how you got in the mortgage business.
Well, I started working in banking at a pretty young age. And
14, something like
something
that?
about 14, yeah, I think if I remember correctly. And anyways, in my years in banking, I was able to kind of learn a lot about the financial industry. And I had a partner in the bank who kind of educated me on buying a home. And then after I bought my first home at a pretty young age, I was able to kind of realize that the home buying process was a lot easier than what I would have initially anticipated. And I think there's just a lot of people out there that aren't aware of that. And I just got into the business with the desire to kind of teach people that.
That's cool. I mean, it's kind of like you've been through the experience yourself, but you want to share it with others and help others do that.
Definitely.
It's kind of personal, right?
It definitely is, yeah.
That's cool. So, Patricia, what did you like most about doing real estate?
Definitely, I am a people person, so I like the contact, the face-to-face with the client. The everyday challenge, because every day is different. It's not like work in an office. And also is the constant continue growing personally and professionally. For me, real estate is a helping profession.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Joelle, do you have any thoughts on what you like most about doing mortgages for people?
Well, I'll piggyback a little bit off of what Patricia says. It's definitely interacting with people, meeting new people. But I would say that one of the things that makes me love my job the most is being able to help those families who maybe were declined in the past, or somebody told them they couldn't be a homeowner, and being able to
do it, right?
Yeah, and being able to put them in homes. I mean, at that day at closing is one of the most rewarding feelings.
Yeah, I tell people that if you look up, and I'm not like a Latin person, but if you look up the word mortgage, no, like literally like pig Latin, right? Mortgage means death contract. Mort is death.
Wow.
Gage is contract. And I'm like, I sign people up for a death contract for a living and I get paid to do it, right? It doesn't sound very exciting or, like that I should be doing it. At the end of the day, though, as a loan officer like you, Joelle, and when you can help families to achieve that American dream and buy their own home, especially when another company didn't give them the time of day or didn't follow up or didn't really figure out maybe the intricacies of their life on paper and make the loan happen, there's just nothing better on those days than just go, you know what? Yeah, I made a commission, but you're not thinking about your commission, right? You're thinking about the family that just is so grateful for your help. And that's what really brings meaning to our lives.
Yeah.
All of us here just in the real estate industry in general. So those are all good things.
That's a special satisfaction that you have when that person who start to be a client, to be honest, in the long term, it's not a client anymore. It start to be part of your family. They're going to be your friends, that you continue in long term going to their family parties and reunions and birthdays. So yeah, there's a personal satisfaction there.
Absolutely. So if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Reshair Radio. I'm your show host, Chris Reshatar, licensed loan officer with NFM. And we've got Patricia Botero here and Joelle Pimentel in the studio. And we're really just kind of doing the intros. But if anything that you hear along the way in our show today that you have questions about, you can always text me or give me a quick call at 704-277-4463. That's 704-277-4463. All right, Patricia, let's talk a little bit about your opinion on what you see is happening in the Charlotte housing market.
Our market is booming. We are right now ranked in the third real estate market in America.
So one of the best.
Yeah, we're in the third place. So if you know someone, or right now I have a client who is from California, and we're working with Joelle in that client.
Okay.
She can buy a house in California. Of course, the prices are so crazy.
Right.
So she's going to start to buy with the money that she have there, houses here for rental property.
Okay.
Rental
so
property. So imagine the option, the possibility that you cannot buy a place in your town, but you can buy here in Charlotte.
Right.
The other thing is we are ranking in the top 5 cities where people prefer to live and retire. That's why right now we have a lot of millennials coming. People coming from New York, from New Jersey, California, Florida, Pennsylvania, Ohio. They are people.
You almost got all of them there.
No, a little. It's like, at least 5, because there are 10 important states that are moving every day. More than 100 people are moving to Charlotte because we have, for the jobs, the house pricing is less. The amenities and everything that I can get here is more.
Yep. No, it's a great town. It's actually the number 1 city to move to as a millennial. Charlotte ranks as the top city for millennials to move to.
Wow, I had no idea about that. That's awesome.
Exactly.
And you're one of them. You're already here, man.
Yeah, I'm already here. I'm one step ahead of the game.
So I remember when I was here, I moved from California to here in 2005. Oh my gosh, at that time it's like 6 p.m. No one was on the street. The first
you're right. In the city. Nobody was walking around.
Nobody was walking. Everybody was in their homes.
Center. And people came to the city to work, and then they went home.
Right now, it's completely different. We start to be a more cosmopolitan city right now with all the people coming, and we are blooming.
It's fun. Isn't it fun to see?
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
I love to see it. When I spend occasionally, my wife and I will go up to the city. We'll spend the night there and go out to eat for breakfast and dinner and just kind of enjoy the city. Or we go to a ball game, and we didn't used to do that, but it's got a kind of fun young energy. I spent some time in San Diego, and if you've been to San Diego and you look around the city in terms of the buildings and the sort of the overall energy and vibe, it feels like that same city. Now, we don't have the beautiful beach and the ocean, which I wish we did some days. However, with, hurricanes coming through, I'm kind of glad we don't, right?
For sure.
But it definitely has that young, clean, fun vibe to it. So, yeah, this is a great real estate market to be in. Even in my opinion, the market has been booming, but I do see that we're starting to normalize where perhaps what I call the roller coaster was clicking, where homes prices were going up and up and up. I think the clicking is slowing down. I think we're going to start to see the supply and demand maybe start to normalize a little bit where there maybe aren't so many people fighting for the same house. Particularly as you move above 300,000, I think it's going to be your 3 to 6 month supply is going to start to be available here in the next year or two. The first-time buyer market, I don't know that that's going to change a whole lot just because there are just so many buyers and there's just not enough inventory. So I think that market's going to be busy for quite a while, and that we may continue to see multiple bids for several years to come. So, well, first segment's been gone. So we've got a lot more to talk about. We're really going to be talking about Patricia's tips for a top dollar sale. And what that means, folks, is if you've got a home that you want to sell, she's going to give you, I think it's 9 total tips that she's come up with to help you sell your house for top dollar. So we've got a lot more to talk about. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Preston Sandlin with Home Inspection Carolina. We do home inspections, termite inspections, radon testing, any of your inspection needs. One thing that we do a little different, we fix the small stuff instead of putting it on the report. So if you need a home inspection, termite inspection, radon testing, please give us a call. If it's a home inspection or a pre-inspection, 704-542-6575, or check out our website at homeinspectioncarolina.com.
Hi, Chris Reshatar here with NFM Lending and host of Reshair Radio. If you are considering purchasing a home, you may wonder what your financing options are. We offer a variety of loan products to fit your situation, including conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, and jumbo loans. Here in the Carolinas, some of the most common loans are FHA and USDA. FHA loans are popular in low-income and first-time buyers due to their less stringent requirements. They also have low down payment requirements and tend to have a lower credit score requirement as well. USDA loans also allow low and moderate income households to purchase homes in an eligible rural area. Home buyers who do not qualify for a conventional loan may be able to purchase a home with USDA. If you're looking for platinum level service and open communication throughout the process, call me, Chris Reshatar, at 704-277-4463. That is 704-277-4463. LO NMLS license number 117266. Corporate NMLS license number 2893. Go to nfmlending.com for licensing information, and you can apply online at themortgagegenius.com. Welcome back to Reshair Radio. I'm your show host, Chris Reshatar, licensed loan officer with NFM Lending. If you've never listened to our show before, it's really about exciting, educating, and empower Charlotteans to make sound financial decisions. And we do that by bringing in expert contributors, people that know tons about different industries, and special guests in our local community. And today we've got Patricia Botero with Premium Homes for Sale, realtor at Keller Williams, and Joel Pimentel with NFM Lending, loan officer. And you guys got to partner up here, right? Partners in crime in terms of helping people buy houses.
That's true. We like to work together.
Yeah. It's not uncommon that I come into the office and you guys are hanging out getting stuff done for people. So it's good to see you around. And really glad to have you as guests on the show for the first time. So, Patricia, you had sort of prepared 9 tips for a top dollar sale for anyone that wants to maybe list their home for sale here in the next 6 to 12 months or into the future, doesn't matter when. And I'd like to kind of get started and share with our listeners the tips that you've prepared to help them sell their home for top dollar. So you say the first step in sort of preparing that home is to call you for the free home evaluation. First of all, what is the evaluation and how do you do that?
Okay, I call the free analysis. This evaluation is I go to your house and I need to see the potential of your property. So I'm going to tell you and be very honest, the areas that you need to declutter. I'm going to tell you, okay, we need to clean here and there. You need to move this furniture. We need to take out this
You're
furniture.
You're going to be honest like the mother-in-law honest, right? Not that kind of honest.
Hey, if you want to sell your house, we are going to be a team. So you need to trust me. That's why you're hiring me.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to give you tips about staging. Maybe put some colors here and there. So if we take those things and address before, you are going to have a really nice, a big potential to sell your home faster and better than your neighbors. Because believe it or not, we are right now in a market that maybe in the same neighborhood, there are another 3 or 4 houses. So you need to be the pretty ones.
That's right. You want your client's house to stand out, look best.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, really?
That's
It's
the
just
goal.
like when you go to the doctor, the first step is the exam, right? So when you go in and do the free home evaluation, you're taking up your time and energy and spending probably several hours at their house, really going through every room, every part of the house, up and down, in and out. And then you're going to then maybe make some recommendations, right?
Exactly.
Maybe provide what I call the prescription as one of the other steps.
Yeah,
All right.
in my experience, there are some little things, sometimes bigger things, but little things like maybe clean your window sills, your doors, especially around the door knobs, your baseboards, your outlets, electrical part. So they're going to bring like a fresh view to your house. No one can expect to go to your house and see that it's with a lot of stuff and it's dirty. It's like a no for a potential buyer.
Absolutely. Exactly. So you're going to give them those tips while you're there. So you've shared some good examples there. All right. Well, let's go to tip number 2, I should say. Professional deep clean by Premium Cleaning Service. So wait a second. This is not what I'm used to hearing. Most of the time I hear this step as the client needs to do a deep clean. How is it different with you?
The client who decide to hire me to sell the property, they are going to know for sure that I'm going to use my other company, that you say Premium. In my cleaning company, we are going to come to your house and do the cleaning. Now, during my free analysis, I am going to decide what you need to do. It's like a light cleaning or a deep cleaning, or maybe a combination of both, where we are going to take care more of some areas or room of your house with a deep cleaning and a light cleaning in the others. If we are talking about deep cleaning, we are going to take care from everything from the top to the bottom. We are going to clean the window sill, the baseboards, the doors, all the surface. If it's an empty house, we are going to do inside the appliance too. What we need to do is stand up your house. Your house needs to look clean, bright, and smell good.
That's right. Smells good. That makes a big difference when it does smell good. Nobody likes to go into a house that smells.
And to be honest,
like
that's true.
Or smoke or whatever.
That's the other thing. A big no-no for buyers is you maybe smoke, maybe you have pets, and you love your pets, but your nose is like you don't smell those.
Whoa. As an owner of 3 dogs, I take personal offense to that.
No, but believe me, because you live every day there, you don't even notice of the odor that your pets can cause.
Also, my house stinks, Patricia.
Probably.
Well, I don't say, people are different kind of sensitivity in their nose. So I find now that buyers, when they're very sensitive, they say, oh, no. They don't even want to pass your front door. And you just lose that momentum. You lose that kind of buyer. So you need to take care of those kind of stuff. And that's part of also my analysis. In my experience, depends of the size of your house and depends of, I call project, could take us between 3 hours until 8 hours to perform a deep cleaning. Just one time took us 2 days. Was an elderly couple. They were living in the Woodward area for I don't know, oh my gosh, how many years. Of course, elderly people, they can really clean their houses, and so
Right. They don't have the mobility or the energy necessarily to do it as well.
They needed to sell that house and move to a special assistant house. So we take care for 2 days that house.
Wow. So you did a deep clean for 2 days. That's unbelievable. So, I mean, really, you recommend, obviously, step 2 as a tip for selling your house for top dollar is a professional deep clean. But I've never had anyone on the show before, and I've had a lot of realtors come as a guest on Reshair Radio over the years. Nobody I know is offering a free deep clean. So if you are thinking about selling your home, perhaps now don't sell your home just because it needs a free deep clean, okay? but this is a pretty good offer to know that you are willing to offer that to our potential clients here and listeners on Reshair Radio. So that's great. What an awesome add value. So a free evaluation and a free deep clean. Okay, so let's talk about the next one, which you say you want clients to consider either professional staging or just maybe decluttering. And so first I want to ask you to explain what home staging and decluttering are, and then maybe give some examples.
Yeah. For me, staging a house is like a combination between use art and decoration. Because we are going to do is accentuate the beauty of your property. Is going to look bigger, more colorful, more cozy, comfortable.
Comfortable, right.
So when you are selling your home, you have to see that it's not your home anymore. We have to see as a buyer what they're going to expect. Someone who is going to be in your place have to picture them. Okay, this is going to my next home. My sofa is going to be there. My TV is going to be here. So if in your place you have a lot of stuff, it's impossible for them to figure out, picture them that is the house that they're going to buy. That's the thing, the beauty of staging. We bring color, we open spaces, and we give you the opportunity to have more buyers, potential buyers in your house.
Yep.
Vision them living there.
Right. That's perfect. That's what staging is about.
Yes.
So, and I know in some cases they'll use what you own if your stuff is, relatively modern and well kept. However, sometimes with staging, it's literally we get a pod and put everything you own in storage, and they bring in everything fresh and new.
And sometimes we bring new furnitures. Yeah.
Right.
Modern
but it's
furnitures.
all about getting, again, as you said, your tips for top dollar sale. It's all about helping your client, right, getting the best bang for their buck, selling their house for the most money.
Yeah, in less time possible with the best price.
Right.
And
Quick
hopefully
fast.
multiple offers.
and hopefully a lot of offers. Okay, so how does that differ from decluttering? What is decluttering? Explain that to our listeners.
We as a human beings, we love to shop, and we buy a lot of stuff
And that's
during the
not
whole
with a knife.
life.
That's actually we're talking shopping, right?
Yeah, so the thing is, little by little and year by year, we start to accumulate things in our home. A little chaos here and there, especially if you have kids or toys.
It just collects.
You collect a lot of stuff. So decluttering means we have to simplify, organize, move stuff, take out the stuff, create those more big spaces, bring light to your house. So that means declutter. So, and unfortunately, I know you love your kids, you love your husband, maybe your pet, but we need to take also those kind of pictures, personal family pictures there, because no one is going to see your house. Okay, who is that person? Right. I need to see myself, the buyer in this house. So we need to take all those personal stuff too.
Decluttering, aside from thinning out closets and garages and opening spaces, also can mean what we call depersonalizing the space.
Exactly.
And taking down, if you collect pictures of clowns, we might have to get clowns off the wall. I mean, people have all kinds of different things. It could be sports themes. It could be if your house is filled with Pittsburgh Steelers stuff, and I bought a house that was, it's hard for somebody to, if they're a Panthers fan, to envision themselves in a Pittsburgh Steeler house. Right?
Exactly. If you are meaning to sell your home, that means that you are going to move to another place. So the sooner, the better, and the faster way is including before put your house on the market, start to packing. And you are going to categorize in 3 different files, if you want to say that. For example, the right side is going to be the things that you're going to take with you to your new home. And then the center, the boxes that you are going to donate. On the left side of the house, the things that you are going to maybe put in a garage sale.
Right.
So,
or just throw away.
Or throw it away. Yeah, because you are going to be in your house for maybe 20, 30 days, and you are not going to have time. It's going to be so stressful do everything in those days.
Makes perfect sense. So step 3 or tip 3 for a top dollar sale is really consider professional staging and decluttering, and I'm assuming you will help them understand how to do that when you do the free home evaluation.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right. So as usual, the time goes super, super fast. The next step is really talking about professional photography, but we're going to save that for the next segment. Again, you're listening to Chris Reshair, licensed loan officer with NFM, your host of Reshair Radio. We're here with Patricia Botero and Joel Pimentel. We've got more on her tips for our top dollar sale. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hey, Chris Reshatar here with NFM Lending. Are you still sitting on a high interest rate mortgage loan? Are you thinking about consolidating, paying off some of those credit card debts, or maybe doing some home improvement? Now's the time to call because interest rates are still at a 40-year low. My number is 704-277-4463. That's 704-277-4463. I can also be found at themortgagegenius.com. Movement Mortgage is an equal housing lender and MLS license number 117266. Hi, Chris Reshatar here with NFM Lending and host of Reshair Radio. If you are considering purchasing a home, you may wonder what your financing options are. We offer a variety of loan products to fit your situation, including conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, and jumbo loans. Here in the Carolinas, some of the most common loans are FHA and USDA. FHA loans are popular in low-income and first-time buyers due to their less stringent requirements. They also have low down payment requirements and tend to have a lower credit score requirement as well. USDA loans also allow low and moderate income households to purchase homes in an eligible rural area. Home buyers who do not qualify for a conventional loan may be able to purchase a home with USDA. If you're looking for platinum level service and open communication throughout the process, call me, Chris Reshatar, at 704-277-4463. That is 704-277-4463. LO NMLS license number 117266. Corporate NMLS license number 2893. Go to nfmlending.com for licensing information, and you can apply online at themortgagegenius.com. Welcome back to Reshair Radio. I'm your show host, Chris Reshatar, licensed loan officer with NFM Lending. We're here in the studio with Patricia Botero, who is the owner of Premier Cleaning Services and also a full-time licensed realtor with Premier Homes for Sale, a Keller Williams affiliate. Did I get that right?
Premium home for sale.
Premium.
Premium.
I don't know what was wrong with it, premium, but we're getting there, folks. I just can't get my brain around that one. So let's jump in. We were just talking, Patricia, before the break about your tips for our top dollar sale. We went through the first 3. The next one you talk about is professional photography. What does that mean for someone that wants to sell their home for top dollar?
Right now with technology, everybody have a cell phone or a tablet that you can take a picture, but those are like a flat picture. Hire a professional photographer is going to he's the expert. He knows when the time is the perfect time to take a picture. For example, just open the blind with the sun coming down to this way. He said, okay, this is the best corner to take the picture. They are the experts. They are going to bring the essence. They are going to show the beauty of your house. So that's why professional pictures are so important. We have to be very honest. Right now, everybody's shopping online, or at least seeing online before go to the store. So the same happens when someone is looking to buy a house. They are going to search online and check the pictures. If the picture is not going to be so pretty, No, it's going to be dark. Of course, they are going to skip that house. So we need
Yeah,
to
you only get one chance to make a
first impression. So we need to capture that client.
Perfect. The next one you say is consider a pre-inspection before you list your home for sale. What is a pre-inspection?
I recommend the seller hire a professional inspector. He is the person who is going to check from the roof to the foundation of your house. It's like about, if I'm not wrong, like 1,600 items. Electricity, plumber, air condition, you name it.
All the components of your home.
Everything, all the components on your house. And in about 2-3 days, he's going to give you a professional report. You are going to know what is good, bad, or ugly in your house. And in your time and in your budget, you are going to request estimates from different companies. And you are going to address little by little. So that
when you sell your home, there's no big surprises with the buyer.
Exactly.
You know, it really makes a lot of sense, in my opinion, to do that, because if you wait till after the home is under contract, it can cause contention. It can lead to scrambling and costing you more money in the end.
Or the buyer can also walk away.
Right. And it just wastes your time.
Exactly.
So pre-inspection is a great thing to consider as one of the tips for a top dollar sale. Next one is pricing the home right. How do you price the home right?
This is a very important and crucial thing. I know buyers want to buy for less price and sellers want to sell for the higher price. But the market is the market. We use a CMA, is a comparative market analysis. We compare your house with other houses in your area between no more than 3 miles around. 3 months, 6 months, the houses that we sold in your area. We also check active listing, also under contract, but more important are the houses that have been sold. Like I said,
that is correct.
So, and we check pairs to pairs. So if your house is a ranch house, we cannot compare with a house that is 2 levels.
It could be a cool ranch house.
Yeah, but we compare the size, the year that was built, the upgrades, and that's the other important things, because maybe
Right.
the house that is in front of you never changed nothing, and you upgrade, put a hardwood floor, countertops, stainless steel. So that is more, you can sell for more price.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. So you're going to take all those things into consideration. The sales, really, though, I always tell people at the end of the day, the sale of your neighbor's home is what affects your value more than anything. Hopefully, and if it's similar to yours, then that's going to be what drives the market. What's what the appraisal is going to show.
Exactly.
All right, you say number 7 tip, pre-qualify before you list your home for sale. So you're saying after doing all of this work, it's probably smart to actually talk to a mortgage lender, assuming you're not paying cash for the next house, before you actually put the house on the market. So, Joelle, since you're the loan officer we're featuring today in the studio, what does that mean in your words?
Well, you want to be prepared to have at least a pre-qualification for the home you're going to buy next, because the only thing worse, well, I mean, it would be, imagine being a client who's already done the preparation, followed all of these steps that Patricia recommended to you to list your home, and maybe even go as far as get under contract, and then go to look at the home that you're going to move your family to next and find out that maybe your credit score dropped 40 points, or maybe there's a collection that's reporting that you didn't know was there, and now you don't qualify for your new home, but you're already under contract and the home that you're living in is about to get sold. I mean, that would be a nightmare. So you just want to definitely make sure that you're following each step that Patricia gives you, but not forgetting one of the more important steps, which is make sure you're qualified for the home you're going to buy.
How is pre-qualification different from pre-approval?
Well, pre-qualification would be more or less in essentially kind of an overview of your financial situation, versus a pre-approval is going to be us taking it a little extra step further and getting an underwriter's overview of your file and taking a look at it and making sure that there is anything funky or crazy that could maybe impact you actually closing on that loan. So it holds a lot more weight, and in this market with how competitive it is, you definitely want to be going in and making offers with a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification.
Perfect. So if you have any interest in getting pre-qualified or pre-approved, you can just shoot me a call or a text message at 704-277-4463. That's 704-277-4463, and I can get you in connection with these great professionals here today. All right, tip number 8 is be prepared to be flexible with your time. What does that mean, Patricia?
Well, I need to be very honest with the seller. It's like, if you want to sell your home, I need to know the hours that the potential buyers can come to your home. But also, you have to think buyers are the important people who are going to buy your home. So they can request anytime, any day, especially at the weekends, holidays, nights, or mornings. So I help you. That's why you hire me. But you need to help me to show your home. Properties that are hard to show are hard to sell. Doesn't matter that the pictures are pretty and it's a right price. If people cannot be in your home, they are not going to offer. The other thing now, with people who are coming from another states, most of the time they are here for hours or just maybe 1 or 2 days.
That's right. If someone's coming from out of state, they may only have 1 or 2 days. So if you're not flexible with letting them see your home, your home's going to they're going to buy it at someone else's house.
Exactly. And believe it or not, I was working with a client who moved from New York to here, and I showed him 20 houses in 1 day.
Wow.
I know it's crazy, but he was too short about his time, and we put an offer the same week, and the next weekend he was moving. So yes, you as a seller who have to be very flexible, because sometimes these kind of buyers who already sold their house on New York or New Jersey, they have cash. So you don't want to lose that kind of clients.
That's right. Cash offer is always the best. All right, let's go to the very last tip, which is it takes a team approach to selling. So what are your thoughts on that quickly?
Yeah, definitely. Selling a house is we create a team. Is me as your realtor, I have a special staging person. I have a professional photographer, and we have to work together. We are here to guide you, to help you in the process, and make everything smoothly and stress-free. That's what I say. We are a team. It's not only you.
That's right. And you just have to know that there's going to be ups and downs in the transaction. There's going to be stress. There might even be tears every once in a while, but it doesn't mean that all of us aren't working towards your overall benefit. But you just have to be prepared. When you sell and buy a house, it takes a lot of mental energy, physical energy. You got to work your job still, move your house and paint and this and all these things. So, well, if people want to list their house with you, where can they reach you?
Oh, well, my cell phone is 704-962-5712.
One more time.
704-962-5712. You can call me or text me, and I have my own website. It's ph4, the word sale, .com.
ph4sale.com. That's pretty simple.
Yeah.
So, well, Patricia Botero, Premium. I don't know why I even try. It's just not Premium Homes for Sale, powered by Keller Williams. So excited to have you on the show today. We've got about 2 minutes. I understand the two of you are getting ready to do a little workshop event. So why don't you take a minute to announce what you want to announce so we can get that out to our listeners today?
Definitely. Yeah, we have a first-time home buyer seminar, which is going to be Saturday, September the 29th, and we'll be able to go a little bit more in detail about some of the tips that Patricia's providing for buyers versus sellers, and I'll be able to kind of go in more in depth into the loan process. It's going to be at the Keller Williams Ballantyne office. This is 3430 Torrington Way, Suite 200 in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to be at 1 p.m. And there's a special offer that Patricia's offering to anybody who's listening today. Patricia, what's that offer?
Well, my offers, I already say the offer for the sellers. I offer the cleaning, I offer the photographer and the staging for free, plus the analysis. But if you are thinking to buy a house, what I going to for you is also, after you buy the house, again, my company is going to be in your place cleaning before you move in. So you just have to worry about put your stuff, but not even to clean. And I'm going to give you a closing table, $300 for Premium Home for Sale, like a thank you for hiring me and trusting me.
So you're going to give a $300 gift or credit towards their closing as long as they buy with you.
As
of
long we
course.
close. Exactly.
That is
exactly.
huge.
That's
and
key.
so you're going to get the perspective of me as a lender, Patricia as the agent, and as well our partner Chris Gannum with Brightway Insurance, who's going to kind of give you a little bit more in-depth information about what it means to have homeowners insurance. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. There's going to be food. It's going to be really educational for anybody who's never purchased a home before. And we're going to
From
have
1
fun.
to 2.
Okay, so that's going to be next Saturday from 1 to 2 at Keller Williams Ballantyne office, which is 3430 Torrington Way, from 1 to 2. First time buyer workshop. Any listeners that want to buy a house in the future, this would be a great workshop for you to attend. So we've got one more segment coming up. Our expert contributor, Adam Kunda with National Credit Care, will be talking about great credit tips for you. So please stay for our last segment. And thank you to the both of you that have been on the first 3 segments. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Hey, Chris Reshatar here from Reshair Radio with Movement Mortgage. Are you still sitting on a high interest rate mortgage loan? Are you thinking about consolidating, paying off some of those credit card debts, or maybe doing some home improvement? Now's the time to call because interest rates are still at a 40-year low. My number is 704-277-4463. That's 704-277-4463. I can also be found at themortgagegenius.com. Movement Mortgage is an equal housing lender and MLS license number 117266. Hi, this is Chris Reshatar, host of Reshair Radio and loan officer with NFM Lending. Is home buying in your future? Buying a home is one of the most significant financial decisions you will make in your life. Each step in the process is important to ensure a smooth transaction. But the most important step, even before you look at houses or call a realtor, is to get pre-approved. A pre-approval is when a lender evaluates a loan applicant's eligibility for a home loan. The loan officer collects information such as their employment, income, assets, and current expenses. The lender then gives the applicant an idea as to whether or not they could afford a home loan or an approximate amount of loan they could qualify for. If you're looking for platinum level service and open communication through the loan process, call me, Chris Reshatar, at 704-277-4463. That is 704-277-4463. LO license number 117266, corporate license number 2893. Go to nfmlending.com for licensing information, or you can apply online today at themortgagegenius.com. Good morning. Thank you for listening to Reshair Radio again. We're just back from a quick commercial break. We're going to shift gears a little bit here and introduce our expert contributor, Adam Kunda with National Credit Care. Adam, welcome back to Reshair Radio.
Chris, good morning.
Great to have you here, and I know you flew in from Colorado for our show this weekend, and just glad to have you here again. We are actually going to spend some time today talking a little bit about understanding the different types of credit and then how that impacts your credit score. And this is really kind of very basic information, yet at the same time, the information we're going to share is so important to you understanding how credit works and how it can really make an impact on your credit score. So Adam, before we sort of jump into our overall theme here, as a contributor to Reshair Radio, you've been bringing really great topics and helping our listeners understand credit. But tell them a little bit about what you do over at National Credit Care so they can get a feel for how they might be able to tap into what you're offering.
Understand, we are a credit restoration firm built specifically for the mortgage industry. My expertise and my specialty and knowledge base is on mortgage credit scoring and how that goes together and how we can help you better establish that, and also look at some of the negative things that are on the report so we might be able to get the score up as well there. So we are a full service credit restoration firm to try and get you into a home loan with Chris.
There you go.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
You know, there is nothing greater than when if I'm at a stuck point with a client, to be able to pass them off to your team and then have you volley them back in 6 months or 9 months. Mm-hmm. And I've had several customers this last year that we did exactly that. And it's fun to know that I took somebody who wasn't quite ready, and with your team's help, of course, is because it's a team effort to be able to jockey somebody back into a position where they can buy a home. That's what it's all about for me as a loan officer in our market.
Sure.
I have plenty of opportunities to help people with home buying. I'm not in a position where I need another loan to be able to pay my bills. I've been very blessed with a lot of business. But what's really cool is being able to take customers that you've been able to help and convert them, because it's more about the joy of the process and helping them accomplish that. So So anyway, let's jump in, Adam. Really just wanted to really do a reminder show and understanding the 3 different types of credit and maybe how that can impact their credit. So I'm really going to probably let you take the wheel here and explain what those types are, what those buckets are, however you want to describe it, and maybe we can break down the importance of them. And because I see people that maybe don't understand, they might not have any buckets filled. They might only have all of their buckets, all of their eggs in one basket, if you will, right? And so forth. So you take it from here, man.
All right, thanks, Chris. So conversations with my friends always on credit, they talk about either their score is frozen, it's not moving any higher, or that, you know,
Why is it stuck? Yep.
They're doing all that they can to get their negative stuff taken off to get that score up. So let's just go over. There's 5 components that make up our credit score, and the largest section that we have is about negative credit. That is obviously 35% of the score, and we're looking at negative things such as late payments, bankruptcies, tax liens, judgments. Guys, anything that you think is hurting your score, this is where it is placed in this pie chart. Up to 35% of the score is negative information. So the kind of the takeaway here is that 65% of our credit score has nothing to do with negative credit. And that's where all my friends are falling short. You know, there's the kind of game when you're a child, you've got that square peg, you're trying to fit it in the square hole. It's not going to fit in the circle one. So that's what I've been doing for 7 years, understanding the dimensions of that peg, the dimensions of the hole, and trying to make sure that we are sizing this up for each specific client from wherever they're at and wherever they're trying to go, so that we can start to maximize this other 65% of the credit score as well. Very important to watching your score go up if you're adding positive credit and adding on-time payments. So when we look at positive credit, the biggest thing that is important to you to understand is revolving accounts, which are your credit cards, your store cards, your gas cards. If you do not have any of these on your report, you're missing about 30% of your credit score, which makes it very difficult to try and get some funding.
But wait, my dad told me don't never get any credit cards, and I pay cash for everything, Adam.
Is your dad named Dave Ramsey?
No, I wish. I probably would be doing the radio show with Dave, not on my own here in Charlotte.
No,
but anyway,
for sure.
I'm not syndicated yet.
I understand. So let's just go over the difference. Obviously, Dave Ramsey is a very smart guy on how to manage budgets, keep your kind of lifestyle under that umbrella. But I'm here to say that in credit cards are so important to the credit score that if you use them how I say to use them, then you're not necessarily breaking Dave's laws as well. So I will tell you to go get a credit card and use it as lightly as possible. I'm always looking for my borrowers and consumers to be using about 1 to 2% of the limit on the card. You know, typically
That's very small.
Very, very small. So typically we're usually starting out with, let's just say, a $500 card. We're looking to charge $5 to $10 on the card every month. Keep in mind, I didn't say 50 to 100. I didn't say 500. We just need to keep it really low in terms of utilization percentage, because that's where we get the most points. If we're at 1 to 2%, we are getting the maximum amount of credit scoring points in this 30% pie slice. So we might as well be using our credit cards at least once a month to help generate some on-time payments as well. If we go back to the section where negative credit is found, our payment history, 35%, that's where we have negative payments, but we can only overcome those with positive payments.
That's right.
Time. So if you do have credit cards, make sure you're using them. I see a lot of clients that come to me that might have 4 or 5 credit cards on their report, and they're just using one of them every month. So they're getting one on-time payment and credit for just one. Where if they used all 4 or 5 for 1 to 2% and put an on-time payment on there, they're starting to build a lot more positive payments in this example. And we can watch their score start to move up, and it's not staying at that 688 for 3 straight years. So revolving accounts are probably the most important part of the positive credit. So we're always going to be making sure they're on the report.
In terms of our pie for types of credit, the first type and most important type is the credit or revolving.
Sure. This is just a specific section on revolving credit only, though. So 30% is, do you have a credit card? Sure. Or do you not have a credit card? So if you do not have one, you're missing 30% of the score. It makes it pretty hard to approach funding.
So what makes up the next percentage of that pie?
The next section, we get a little bit smaller in weight here, about half of what we just talked about. 15% of our score is about length of history, and we're looking at how long have we had accounts open on the report. So obviously, if you're a little bit older, you have a little bit more advantage here than somebody that's younger, but they are averaging the length of history. That's what makes it very difficult. If you have a card that's 20 years old and a car loan that you just got this month, you only have a 10-year length of history, and to maximize this 15% of the score, they would want your average length of history to be 25 years or more.
Cool.
I don't know about you, but I've
That's
never
not
seen
easy.
anybody that's had 25 years. As a gentleman in Columbia, I'll never forget, had 18 and a half. That's the highest I've ever seen in this section. So why is your score not going up? Well, maybe you don't have revolving accounts, or maybe you're keeping your length of history very, very low. Christmas shopping, January is kind of the best time to go look and see what kind of revolving accounts you did open. And maybe you don't need these on the report. If you close these down, they're going to not be factored in that length of history anymore, and we can watch the score go up. So it's a little, just important to not always be opening new credit. If you do have a card from 1981, don't close it. Keep it open. That's, obviously holding
Especially
if
up the
there's
credit
a
score.
Good payment behavior on it.
Sure. And you might have just heard, I did say close a newer card. That is okay. There is a myth out there that closing credit is going to hurt your credit score, but it's about which account. You close that 21-year-old credit card, yeah, your score is going to go down. That's going to lower the average length of history on the score. Versus if you just close that card that you got in December, that might make the average go up, and you actually might see the credit score go up for doing those types of actions. So length of history is 15% of the score where they're looking at an average.
Got it.
Cool.
What's next, man?
We'll move along, moving fast. We have types of credit. 10% of your score is about the different types of credit that you have on your report. And I would say that this is the biggest hindrance when we talk about why your score is not going any higher. This is almost like a ceiling here. If you don't have the available types of credit that they're looking for on the report, they kind of max out your credit score. If you just revolving accounts, you can get a 700, probably a 710, but that's about as high as you can get. Gives you a great rate if you wanted to go get an auto loan or a mortgage. And then those different types of credit are going to keep pushing this ceiling up. If you want an 850, you have to have 3 revolving accounts, a mortgage, an auto loan, some sort of other installment than an auto loan. Student loans are typically common. And you have to have all these on the reports if you're trying to get the maximum credit score, roughly 850.
Which is really what I was trying to hit on earlier, and that is you've got revolving as one of the main types. You've got the installment debt and then mortgage. And oftentimes I'll see 2 different types of buyers that come to me, and one of them is somebody that maybe just got out of college and all they have is student loans,
Correct.
but they don't have any credit cards.
Right.
Or I'll see the inverse, right? We'll have somebody that's got a bunch of credit cards but no installment. And really it's about balancing and having a combination. Obviously they're trying to get their first house, so we'll get them the mortgage down the road, right?
That's the plan.
The third type that we're trying to get them to achieve, but you've really got to have a good balance of both. And I'll see people who have great student loan payment history and no revolving debt, and then they say, well, why is my score only a 620 or 640 or 660? And I'll say, well, you really need to have some of the revolving credit in the mix. And without that revolving credit history, you're never really going to achieve those higher score levels. But my dad said, don't ever get a credit card, right? And I said, well, you might have to maybe not listen to your dad's 20-year-old advice and listen to our counsel if you want to temporarily get your scores up. Let's get you some revolving history. And if you want to cut them up after we get your scores up and never use a credit card after you have a mortgage, great. But that balance is really important.
I totally agree. And just to round it out, the last 10% of our credit score, they kind of reserve this section for just applying for new credit. They have a buffering system where if any new piece of credit has been added to your report, they're actually going to take away credit scoring points because now you're a current risk. You haven't met your obligations yet, and they want to see, are you going to do that? So the takeaway here, if you are trying to buy a car or a home in the next 6 to 12 months, we're not going and opening up any new trade lines because that's going to diminish the score that you're going to see when you actually do go apply for that home loan or the car loan. So
Right. There's just no history of performance on that new account, so it drops the score down.
Yep. So if you have 6 months typically of on-time payments on that new account, you will get the points back. But if you don't have 6 months of on-time payments, if you have 5 months and one late, you don't get the points back, and that prevents you from going and applying for new credit and kind of buffers that system for you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we've got just a minute or so here to wrap up the show for the week. So, Adam, as always, thank you for coming on to Reshair Radio. Could you quickly give your information so they can contact you should they need your services and need a free evaluation from
Yes,
your
sir.
team?
And Chris, thanks as always for having me on a beautiful Sunday morning here. You can reach me on my cell phone if that's easiest for you, 720-556-1959. That'll get to my cell phone. You can text that, call me. If email works best for you, Adam@nationalcreditcare.com. I've got typically about a 30-minute response time, so try me out. If you have questions, are confused, anything at all, this is my job. I'm here to help Charlotteans make sure that they know what is a credit score and how we can make that better. So thank you so much for listening today.
Awesome. And the goal of this show of Reshair Radio is to excite, empower, and educate Charlotteans to make sound financial decisions. So that's what we're doing here with expert contributors like Adam. So as always, if you need any mortgage services, you need to get qualified to purchase, or you want to refinance for any purposes, my number is 704-277-4463. That's 704-277-4463. You can listen to our show in its entirety at reshairradio.com. That's RESHAIR radio.com. And for mortgage services, you can reach me at themortgagegenius.com to do an application. That's 3 words, themortgagegenius.com. Adam, thanks again for being on the show. We're going to sign out for another week. We'll be back next Sunday on ESPN 730 at 10 o'clock.
You've been listening to Reshair with Chris Reshatar, a seasoned licensed mortgage consultant, originator license number 117266. Learn more online at themortgagegenius.com.
The preceding commercial program was sponsored and paid for by the hosts of this program, Charlotte, North Carolina, which is solely responsible for its content.